I just done a 10-minute drive for an unfair fight, that's a 4-on-2. You said it's Nokia, I've seen half the country, maybe this year I'll start touring too. Man got way too much time on their hands, bro, try understand who you're talking to. Anyhow my kill you come with a razor, that's a free shape, pops on one line, this you. Before I stepped in that meeting with Sony, I splashed my face, put my line on vibrate. Just the smell of this pack probably made man's eyes bloodshot and my pupils dilate. Bro, I wish I could let man slide, but my pride too heavy to let a man violate. If a man want risk it, turn man statistic.
It's currently 2 p.m. and we're well into New York session, and I've just entered some gold buys on base off the 30-minute structure as we're holding a nice level of demand. If I turn around and show you exactly what I'm looking at. So if we take a look right over here, that we've come and retested back into this level of demand, we've then got a nice bullish candle close, and that's exactly where I've ended up entering on the 30-minute time frame, and now I'm targeting those highs right over here, which will be a nice trade. And of course I've sent out in the trade ideas channel as well for the signal group to catch it as well, so I'll keep you guys posted. Right, so whilst we let this trade play out on the 30-minute time frame, I just thought to go over my entry techniques and my entry models that I use on a regular basis, which allows me to get in and capitalize off of these moves. So the first setup I'll basically be looking for is the double tops and the double bottoms. Now I'm going to explain a bit more detail as to how exactly I'm looking for this, because it's not the typical way the retail traders that have been taught on baby pips. It's my own twist to it. And the second entry model which I use, which is a classic and works a lot, are the break and retest models. So you got the break and retest models. So these are the two that I primarily use on a day-to-day basis when I'm taking the trades, as they're very powerful, and I'm going to explain in a bit more detail exactly how I capitalize off it. So to start off with, let's go ahead and cover the easier one, which is the break and retest, which everyone knows. So let's say we're on the 5-minute time frame right over here, and price is trending down. As such, we're creating lower lows and lower highs on the 5-minute time frame, and we're looking for a buying opportunity. So at this point, what you want to see is a break of this lower high point, which will give you a shift in trend. So we've gone from a bearish trend on the 5-minute to now a bullish trend as we've broken the most recent lower high point. And then you just want to simply wait for a retracement back down to then look for entries and take the move to the upside right here. Now similarly, if I was to show you a bearish example, you have price on the 5-minute time frame trending bullish. And now what you want to wait for, if I draw this out a bit more better, so if you've got higher highs and higher lows being created as such, what you then want to see is a break of this most recent higher low point. And so what you're going to see is price breaking this low, and then you're going to come up for a retest, maybe back up to this level, look for an entry signal right over here, shift in volume maybe, and then a further push to the downside, right? So now that's the classic typical break and retest. However, most of the time I'm using double tops and double bottoms, and let me show you an example of that. So let's say again on the 5-minute time frame, we're trending bearish, and now price is retraced back up, and it's failed to create a lower low. So these are the first signs when it fails to create a lower low that price maybe start shifting in trend. And so what you want to then look for over here is maybe a shift of volume, and then these are where you're going to be buying to then see that push up, breaking above those highs, followed by a retracement, and then you can just ride it up as well. So whereas most retail traders will be getting in right over here on the retest, I've already gotten in early at the double bottom, which is the same example right here, which I've taken on the 30-minute time frame. If you stick around, I'll show you the progress of this trade. This is basically the entry model right over here that I've used for this exact trade. And so what you can see is a nice push up into profit, right, like so. And lastly, to conclude it, if I show you the other way around, if we've got higher highs being created like so, we then see a retracement, price fails to break these highs right over here, and then we see an entry technique, a break of structure over here, and then we just ride the push to the downside. So whereas everyone will be getting in over here, we've already entered here, rolled our stop loss to break even, and we're just carrying the move down, and we're able to maximize off the profits of this. So I hope this was informative. Let's continue with the trade. Damn, we're seeing a huge push in volume on gold right now. We're just ripping through levels, and I've now rolled my stop loss to break even. I've also sent out my signals group as well, and the reason I've rolled stop loss to break even is because if I show you, if you take a look over here, we're reaching this lower high point over here, and so what I'm expecting is price to just straight push up and break through this high point and come up higher into our TP. I do not want to see any sort of reaction at this level, because that will mean that price may again fail to create that higher high, and we then might see another push to the downside. So what I've done here is I've rolled my stop loss to break even, and now I just want to see a straight impulsive move into TP. If we do start stalling around over here, then I'll definitely look to close my trade, because on gold I definitely see a longer term sell move to the downside, and this is just more of a counter trend trade. And again, I've updated the signals group with rolling stop loss to break even. Right guys, so I've ended up closing my trade for around a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, as now I feel like price is respecting our level of supply, and we can now start to see a rollover to the downside for a longer term swing trade. So as you can see, price came up into that white line, which is a level of resistance for me, and once we hit a risk to reward of a 1 to 2, I ended up closing my trade roughly around over here, and now we can see price is now starting to push down a bit. So I'm more than happy with this trade. This was a nice trade with minimal drawdown, and we went straight into profit because I saw the volume in our favor and I was able to capitalize based off of it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click the playlist over here to watch more day in a life videos.